Welcome back to the Midnight Fire. Tonight, we're leaving the shadowed forests and dusty attics behind. Instead, we're setting sail into the vast, unforgiving expanse of the open ocean, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs with the horizon. This is the realm of maritime horror, where the deepest, darkest parts of our world hold secrets far more terrifying than we can imagine. Water covers more than 70% of our planet, yet we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the ocean floor. It's a world of crushing pressure, eternal darkness, and creatures so alien they defy our understanding of life. This inherent mystery is the perfect breeding ground for fear. The ocean is not our home. When we venture out onto its surface, we are intruders in a kingdom that has its own ancient, unforgiving rules. Our journey tonight begins with a tale that has haunted sailors for centuries, the legend of the Siren. We often picture them as beautiful maidens, luring sailors to their doom with enchanting songs. But what if their song isn't what we think? What if the true horror isn't in the sound they make, but in the silence that follows? Imagine you're on a small vessel, weeks from the nearest shore. The world has shrunk to the creaking wood of your boat and the endless, inky blue that surrounds you. For days, the only sounds have been the cry of gulls, the whisper of wind in the sails, and the rhythmic slap of waves against the hull. It's a lonely existence, a monotony that can fray the nerves. One night, under a sky choked with stars, something changes. The constant hum of the ocean seems to fade. The wind dies. The waves flatten into a glassy, unnerving calm. A profound silence descends, so total it feels like a physical weight. It's not just quiet. It's an absence of sound, a void. Your ears strain, searching for the familiar comforts of the sea, but find nothing. It's as if the world has been muted. Then you see it, a flicker of movement at the edge of your vision, a shape in the water just beneath the surface. It's not a fish, not a whale. It's humanoid, graceful, and impossibly long. It swims with a purpose that chills you to the bone. You see another, and then another, circling the boat. They don't make a sound. They don't need to. Their presence alone is a promise of what's to come. This is the silent song of the modern siren. In this version of the myth, they don't sing to lure you. They sing to the ocean itself. Their melody is not one of notes, but of control. They command the very water you float upon. The silence is the first sign that they have taken notice of you, that the sea is no longer a neutral force, but an active participant in your demise. You watch, paralyzed, as the figures below begin their work. They don't attack the boat directly. Instead, they manipulate the currents. A gentle, almost imperceptible pull begins, drawing your vessel away from your intended course. You try to steer against it, but the rudder is useless. You are caught in an invisible river, flowing towards a destination not of your choosing. Days turn into a timeless dread. Your supplies dwindle. The compass spins uselessly. The sun and stars seem to shift in the sky, becoming unreliable guides. The silence persists, broken only by the frantic beating of your own heart and the quiet, maddening scraping sound that sometimes comes from beneath the hull, a sound like long nails dragging slowly across the wood. The psychological toll is immense. The isolation is no longer just a condition of being at sea. It's a weapon being used against you. You start to see things in the shimmering surface of the water faces and the ripples, grasping hands in the foam. You might even start to hear things, faint whispers carried on a non-existent breeze, echoes of the loved ones you'll never see again. Your mind, starved for sensory input, begins to create its own horrors. This is the siren's true power. Not a beautiful voice, but a terrifying mastery of your environment and your own perception. They are the puppet masters, and you are the marionette dangling on the strings of a silent, indifferent sea. They don't need to drown you in a storm. They can simply lead you into the vast, empty heart of the ocean, where there is no food, no water, and no hope. They leave you to be consumed by thirst, by hunger, by madness. This concept taps into our deepest fears. The fear of being lost, of being helpless, of losing control. When you're on solid ground, you can run, you can hide, you can fight. But in the middle of the ocean, where can you go? Your vessel, once a symbol of exploration and freedom, becomes a floating cage, a tiny, fragile bubble of existence in an abyss that wants you gone. Historical accounts from sailors are filled with stories of dead calms and ghost currents that would inexplicably pull ships off course. Men would speak of a strange, unnerving quiet that would precede inexplicable tragedies. Ships were often found adrift, their crews vanished without a trace, with no signs of struggle or foul play. The logbooks would sometimes end with frantic, nonsensical entries about being watched from the deep, or about a silence that ate the sound. Could these be embellished accounts of natural phenomena? Of course. The ocean is full of strange tricks of wind and current. But what if they weren't? What if they were fragmented records of encounters with something ancient and intelligent, something that views our noisy, metallic ships as a brief, unwelcome interruption to its eternal, silent reign? Think of the sheer arrogance of humanity. We build these massive steel behemoths, slice through the waves and dump our waste, assuming the ocean is just a big, empty space for us to use. We pollute it with noise from our engines, our sonar, our seismic surveys. We are a constant, grating annoyance. What if the sirens are the ocean's immune system? What if their silent song is their way of quietly, efficiently, removing the infection? The horror isn't in a monster jumping out to get you. It's in the slow, creeping realization that you are utterly and completely at the mercy of something you cannot see, cannot hear, and cannot possibly comprehend. It is the horror of insignificance. Your life, your struggles, your screams, they are all swallowed by the immense, profound silence of the deep. The siren doesn't need to sing to you. You are already ensnared in its web the moment you hear nothing at all. The silence is the song, and its final note is your own quiet, lonely end. So the next time you stand by the shore, listening to the crash of the waves, take a moment. Listen closer. Listen for what's underneath the noise. And if, for a fleeting second, all that sound just stops, don't wait to find out why. Just run. Because something in the deep has noticed you, and it has begun to sing its silent, terrible song. Thank you for joining me on this voyage into the dark waters of the midnight fire. If the depths of the unknown call to you, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't get left behind on our next journey. Until then, stay safe and perhaps stay on dry land. Good night.